Hi everybody, it's Andrea, aka Violet Kitty 411, and we are doing a quick build tour. This was actually a building contest that is being held by Spellcasters. Her link will be in the description, and I really loved this build. I thought it was really neat. Now, it was much more of the painted lady Victorian style, but I chose to go more gothic on the outside, and this build is done entirely in Realm of Magic and Vampires because I just added those two packs recently and I haven't played with them yet. Now, Realm of Magic is actually much more Art Nouveau, but it does work very well with the Gothic. It's a fusion. They are not perfect. They're not meant to go together. It creates a more eclectic feel. This is the Spellcasters Sanctuary. Now, right here we have a werewolf gargoyle. According to traditional lore, werewolves and vampires are mortal enemies and always have been, and persons of magical influence will side with the werewolves against the vampires because vampires are just stone cold killers. Let's face it, that's what they are. All right, so I could have actually changed any of the exterior as long as I didn't move the walls or the balconies and platforms, but I could have changed the roof, which the only thing I did was make it sunk in a little bit to give it an older look. And I could have even changed the terrain, but I really like what Spellcasters did with it. So I created a beautiful cutting garden here, lavender all around, some wild grass around the little pond. So yeah, we did that. And over here is a little area to dance at night. Imagine that this is actually, it would look better in Forgotten Hollow or Moonwood Mills, but imagine that this is very heavily forested. That's what I was going. I just didn't have a lot large enough in either of those places. Okay, so we have that, and that's the exterior. I probably did forget both a trash can as well as a mailbox because I often forget those. So if you download it, yeah, that's what's happening. There, it also might say that there's some spa day, and I don't know what that's from. Okay, so the cutting garden, then there's some areas to dry right over here, our flowers, and I'm going to tip it up and do the tour this way. So from the front entrance, we have a coat closet. If you have get-togethers, you can replace this with that because that was the intention right here. I just feel it makes it very formal looking. And then around here we have a little reading nook with a portrait of some ancestors, and you'll notice this is actually the vampire floral bat motif. The bat is in there. The bats are in there. They're subtle, but they're in there. And then we have a little powder room right here. So that's our little powder room. And then through here, of course, there's a staircase upstairs, but we'll get to that in just a minute. This doorway right here leads into the kitchen. It's just a very small, almost a galley style, not quite galley, but very close to a galley style kitchen. It's not meant to be stayed in, it's just meant to be cooked in. I actually do have an apothecary workshop that is 3x3 on the gallery, so there's that. So from here you can get into the dining room, and the dining room is a formal dining area with a large painting, and you'll notice there are very few windows. That is very much intentional. I wanted it to seem as creepy and private as possible. Okay, so instead of a window here, there's a painting, and there's a staircase or a ladder down here to a not quite secret magic shop. All right, so from the dining room you can enter into a more of a formal living area where they can share an imbibement or listen to some nice creepy organ playing, and also enjoy art because art is all about it. Now, Sims 4 vampires do not abide by vampire lore, which says that they cannot enter where they have not been invited. So you might need to lock your doors against vampires because, yeah, there's that. All right, so from the main level, You go up this turning staircase, and we have a tiny hall here, and there's entrance to 3 bedrooms. 1, 2, 3. So let's go in to the first one on our right. Well, it's your left, but it would be the right of the person who just got on the landing here. And this is a single child's room, and you could put a bunk in there so 2 kids could get, but it's very tight. So there's just a little desk, a little dresser, bedroom, and a wall closet. And then there is what is a slightly different take on a Jack and Jill, but still a Jack and Jill. And then you can get into, from there, of course, you can get into the other bedroom. The other bedroom also has access to this balcony right here. So it's pretty much decked out the same. Instead of a desk, because I just didn't have a place to get it to fit comfortably, I chose just a little window, so a little bit more girly. And also with a closet. Of course, you could take both of these out to create a little more room, or you could put actual closets in. And then we have the master bedroom, which has a private bath and also a closet. Shut up, Daisy. Okay, here, hold it. Let me hold you, because you're noisy. Okay, so then there's a private closet and access to this, where I would put a telescope, but the telescope doesn't appear in, well, actually, I guess the small telescope does appear in the new base game. I should have thought of that. But yeah, a telescope looks like it would go right there very nicely, because the Werewolves pack really does expound upon the lore of the 3 packs, and there were the Mooncasters, the Moocasters, and which were 2 remaining factions of the original Spellcasters, and I'm assuming that the current Spellcasters are descendants of the Mooncasters, because the Mooncasters all ended up becoming werewolves. Greg was a Mooncaster. Okay. And so we have this werewolf gargoyle here, which was found in the vampires pack, and it wouldn't go on a vampire's home because they're mortal enemies, so it's meant to keep vampires out, but you still do need to lock your doors, and you would even need to lock this one because a vampire could teleport himself right here and then enter through. So yeah, you need to lock your doors. Just lock your doors, please. Just lock your doors. And now you did see that not so secret ladder, which comes down here into a basement where we can perform some magic and also keep captive vampires that we can perform experiments on, because that makes perfect sense. They deserve to be tortured. All right, and so anyway, that is the Spellcasters Sanctuary. It is on my gallery. ID, of course, is Violet Kitty 411, and I will see you soon in the pixelated world, and that's all I have to say. VK out.